Welcome back, everyone, to APPEX 2024 live streams coming to you from the trade show floor. And like the other live streams, this one is also being brought to you by Burkert, where innovation meets inspiration. Whether it's optimizing processes, enhancing sustainability, or simply delving into the fascinating world of fluid dynamics, Burkert is your trusted partner every step of the way, and we're very thankful to them for bringing these live shows and making them happen. So, Lindy, speaking of making it happen, onwards and upwards.
On we go, on we go. And now we're about to talk to Tim Grant, and he is the director of Lifecycles. Tim, you're an exhibitor at APPEX. How's the show been for you so far?
Look, the show's been excellent. We've had great response since last 2 years ago we were here, and it was a little bit muted, I suppose, maybe post-COVID. And but here the interest now is tenfold of what it was previously in the use of life cycle assessment tools in the packaging industry, with the pressures coming up on packaging regulation, the emphasis on dealing with single-use materials, changing material designs and things. So we've had a really good response.
So you're on stand G132 in case there's still time for people to come down. The show only closes at 3, so this stream will be up quite soon and they'll be able to come to see you. But can you tell us, give us an overview of what Lifecycles does?
So Lifecycles is a consultancy that does life cycle assessment, a comparison of products and services over their cradle to grave, and we do that for carbon and water and pollution and land use and all sorts of different impact indicators. That's essentially Lifecycles does that across all sectors, because when you look at life cycle assessment, as soon as you go down one sector, it's connected to other things. So packaging is connected to trees, metals are connected to packaging, trucks and transport. So we do cover a fairly broad range, but here specifically at APPEX, we have a tool for the packaging industry to utilize to be able to do life cycle assessment themselves, which is PK, the Packaging Impact Quick Evaluation Tool, which has been in the market for about 15 years and is used by many brand owners, packaging companies, packaging designers around the world to design better packaging and have that early look at what does the environmental footprint of their packaging look like, how does changing different materials, changing recycled content, different end of life, how do you evaluate the interactions between primary, secondary and tertiary packaging, all those things you can do in a pretty simple and easy interface.
Now, you did say earlier, and we all know this now, that the pressure is building. Regulations and mandates are being considered and formulated and will be coming in to the packaging industry. Our targets, such as they are for the moment at the 2025 mark, no doubt we'll have 2030 targets and beyond. Are you noticing brand owners are paying attention, and have you noticed an increase in interest in trying to use the PK tool?
Absolutely, yeah. We've found that there's a bit of a shift from, I suppose, the use of the tool has traditionally been in one-on-one design comparisons. What if I did this? What if I did that? And that's on an individual product level. But what we're seeing is an interest to really look at the entire packaging portfolio that a company has and examine that as a group of materials and really report on that going forward and look at how are they trending across all of their packages and at scale. And so we've been working on a PK5, which will actually have a much better approach to importing data from internal systems and doing a packaging portfolio footprint rather than just an individual footprint of an individual package. And there's a huge amount of interest in that approach, because that's sort of where the government and industry are looking to report at scale of what's being put onto the market.
So I can understand that large brands who've got, they've made commitments and voiced things out there in the market would have the resources to sort of have a look at its whole scale. What would be your advice to smaller brands?
I think the way in which, everyone can, the way in which PK is structured is you don't need to be an LCA expert. You don't need to have a whole team of people. We have to have a lot of users who, it's a part-time thing where they'll go in and examine the footprint of their packaging, in the context of their competitors or future designs, and so it's not a heavy, costly exercise just to get that glance in at what that looks like. Then if for some producers where your package is particularly environmentally innovative and you want to go out to market and talk about that, then you need to get a little bit more, your investment goes up in terms of a documented peer-reviewed study to be able to make a claim so that you don't run afoul of the ACCC or and be accused of, and even worse, being accused of greenwashing, which no one wants to do.
And at APPEX specifically, what has been the most commonly asked question on your stand?
That's a good question. Who's working with the tool? So everyone wants to know who else is working on the tool, and as
the FOMO element.
yeah, there's that. And what the tool actually does, how does it actually deliver them value? Is it for them, or is it something that they need to get consultants to do or specialists? So people trying to work out where it fits into their sort of business practices and who actually uses it.
So as we wrap up, Tim, what would be your final message to market to get some action going?
I think it's important to make sure that people have a really clear picture of what their environmental advantages and potential disadvantages and risks are in a really independent way, so that as they go forward, they're not tempted down a path of, green bling or shiny things that get brought to them as a potential solution and maybe aren't going to deliver that thing. So having a really clear, independent picture of environmental performance of different options so that you can really evaluate what's being offered by the marketplace, because there are many genuine things, but sometimes the context really matters of where you are, type of package, the type of waste management system you're working within, can really affect the overall outcome. So to take a light view and look across the impacts of packaging before you go into heavy investments and switching up materials.
Well, thanks for that and those insights that you've given us, and I hope that the rest of APPEX goes really well for you. Thanks for joining us.
Great, thanks, Lindy.
Well, thanks, Tim. Thanks, Lindy. And of course, thanks to those who have joined us for this live stream, which, like the other ones, has been brought to you by Burkert, where innovation meets inspiration. Stay tuned to this channel. We'll be back soon with another informative discussion.